President Trump just gave a new update on his immigration crackdown. He's sending a strong and clear message. During the Biden administration, we saw footage like this. The federal government flying migrants into the country under cover of darkness. Now, the Trump White House is posting pictures like these. Those are illegal immigrants being ushered onto deportation flights from Briggs Army Base in Texas. A defense official now telling Fox News, quote, "We can confirm that overnight, 2 DoD aircraft conducted repatriation flights from the United States to Guatemala." And here's the president just a short time ago.
Deportation's going very well. We're getting the bad, hard criminals out. These are murderers. These are people that have been as bad as you get, as bad as anybody you've seen. We're taking them out first.
Kaylee, as vicious, as hard as you've ever seen, we are taking them out first. And as you aptly noted in the last block, when talking about what's to come, you said single file lines of adult males.
Yes, this is so well thought out, Emily. This was methodical. It's surgical, the way they are going after these criminal migrants. And the imagery, the press secretary, Caroline Leavitt, posted this footage, this image rather, of a plane, and you see a line of single adult males. You know, this isn't AOC languishing at the southern border in a white suit. They're combating those images with the images of hardened criminals, the videos of hardened criminals like we saw yesterday. And instead of resistance, they're getting some acquiescence. You see that imagery there. Governor Maura Healey, for example, said she supports what she's seeing with these deportations. She used to say she'd resist Trump with every tool. But then you have actors like J.B. Pritzker saying, I'm not working with him. What he's doing is wrong. He's not in any way trying to extend a hand to the federal government. And meanwhile, federal government's put out a list of the people that have been apprehended, one of whom is from the state that Pritzker represents, Illinois, who has reckless bodily harm on his rap sheet. He has burglary, assault with a deadly weapon, and more. So those are the kind of winners that Democrats seem to be protecting right now.
Yeah, the crimes that these people have been convicted of are absolutely horrifying.
Battery, not burglary. Sorry about that.
Some are burglary, too, but
Yes.
Battery's a lot worse. I want to dive in a little bit to what you were just saying, which is how governors are responding. Some of them now changing their tune, right? Even some blue state ones. So let's take a listen to this flip-flop from the governor of Massachusetts. Watch.
If the Trump administration requests it, would the Massachusetts State Police assist in mass deportations?
No, absolutely not. Every tool in the toolbox has got to be used to protect our citizens, to protect our residents, and protect our state.
I wouldn't describe them as raids. What it seems to be is what we expected and what I support, which is the apprehension of criminals in our communities.
Harris, a different tune, which, by the way, I don't want to condemn. I am grateful for anyone that joins. You know, I don't want to say, oh, they're flip-flopping. You know what? Good. Exactly. Thank you. Too little, too late, but you are welcome.
I love that balanced approach to this that you're putting forth, because it's important, like you say. Look, when someone comes online and they do what they need to do, let's not tear that down. Let's hope they keep doing it. But we can't miss the fact, and I thought the word you used, you called J.B. Pritzker an actor. He is in this instance. And so let's hope that this rendition of his performance is one that sticks for a while, where it is at least allowed to happen. If he decides to take a different position and become a different character in all of this, will we get video of him blocking the way of that person from his state that was rounded up, that horrible criminal who'd already broken the law by coming here illegally? Because I'd like to play that on the air. Like, if Pritzker would like to defend these people without the court and just his old love for illegal immigrants, bring it on. I'd love to see that. Now, the second wave that Tom Home and the borders are for Trump has told me about in all of this will focus on those missing children, hundreds of thousands of them that we know. And that number has started to already come down, Emily, from 300,000. So they've found about 75 to 80,000 of those kids already. If they can get the list of these guys, 4 full days in office for Trump, if they can get the list of where some of those kids have been, and they've been identifying it, you know, since the election, going after them and trying to find those little ones, what in the world was Biden's administration doing? What was Secretary of Homeland Mayorkas doing when he said to the committees on Capitol Hill, we don't know where those kids are, I'll look into it? No, dude, you obviously had a better way to find them, and you didn't do your job. I can't believe they impeached him and didn't remove him.
It's just incredible what a little competence can do, or in this case, Dagan, what a lot of competence can do. And when we talk about, as Harris was saying, those leaders that talk about protecting people, the reality is that the Americans were left unprotected for the last 4 years, and that these terrible rap sheets, the viciousness of these recidivists here, the reality is a lot of the victims were American citizens. So it is Americans being protected, most of them, by the way, women and children, by these deportations.
This was pain, suffering, misery, and murder rained down on the American people intentionally by Joe Biden and company. And it's telling the lack of a public outcry about these deportations. And again, there are 1.4 million illegal migrants in this country, at least, with deportation orders in place. So it's the lack of public outcry from even the most far-left lunatics that tells you how much this country rejected what the Biden administration did, not to the nation, but the individuals, the families, and even the women and children who suffered at the hands of human traffickers, the people who died in this nation because of the drug traffickers. There was a raid out in New Jersey, and I think that there was one American so far, based on the kind of hazy reporting, who was detained as part of that raid. And the two left-wing senators put out a statement, and they said something like, "Our broken immigration system requires solutions, not fear tactics." Well, the fear came from what your ilk did the last 4 years. This is giving people solace and certainty and a notion of safety that Joe Biden and you, Corey, and Senator Kim did not. So have a seat. People want this cleaned up.
That's right. And it is just the beginning.
You know, Emily, I think there's a connection here between the national security problem and a public health crisis. And I think that President Trump and company is now fixing it. 5.4 million illegals came in here under Biden without a medical exam of any kind. 1.9 million gotaways without a medical exam of any kind. That includes mental status, depression, anxiety, which is feeding all of these crimes, and the drug abuse that Dagan was just talking about, and them being gateways for drugs. They come here really anxious, really depressed, nowhere to go, not supposed to be here, not screened medically for things like syphilis, for heart disease, for infections, which then spreads to American citizens. So hooray that this is being reversed.
Hey, everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.